Well, hey everybody. This is the Review Revolution coming at you. Well, what is it today? Today is the 19th. So for 40 days, I guess, I was able to keep my New Year's resolution of not breaking figures. And it came to a tragic end today. Which I don't take responsibility for. It's not my fault. But this is the second Review Revolution Blooper review. It is for Maestro. I'll turn it over to the actual review and be back after. And hope you enjoy it. Hey everybody, this is a Review Revolution coming back at you with the, I'll say third to last review in the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Apocalypse series. And of course today we're looking at the Future Imperfect Maestro. Very cool character. And as you can see, I had to reach way back to get him because the camera has to be that far back for me to get him in shot. One thing I loved about Toy Biz was that these guys were not afraid to make big, heavy characters. Whatever it took, they did it. And it turned out great. I mean, it's one of the things where I appreciate every figure they've done, for the most part. Maestro, of course, being, as I mentioned, from the Future Imperfect Hulk. In case you can't tell, that is our green buddy. Great costume, great figure. Looking at the package, again, as I mentioned in the last video, not a whole lot. This is going to be standard fare for the Toy Biz stuff. Got the Marvel Legends on the bottom. You see the Build-A-Figure with the highlighted piece, and of course the character in the forefront. Not a whole lot to say. Actually, a Captain Marvel issue in there, which, we'll take a look at. On the back, it shows the other figures that are included. Bishop being the first one we did. Wolverine we did last time. Sasquatch that we've already done. Iron Fist that we've done. Maestro that we are doing. And then, of course, little X-23. All together, they will produce the most awesome Apocalypse. But for now, we've got Maestro. Again, pause the video as necessary to check out his stats. On his bio, the Maestro is quite literally the Hulk's alpha and omega, his beginning and his end. Sometime in a possible future, the Earth was devastated by a global nuclear war, a conflict that killed most of humanity, including its superhuman population. One of the few survivors was the Hulk, who found that he simply absorbed the radiation, making him even stronger, but also driving him insane. Calling himself the Maestro, he eliminated any possible competition and proclaimed himself ruler of the world. Part of the reason why they throw that in there is the Alpha and the Omega. Not to spoil too much story for anyone, but the issue in which Maestro really kind of was the main protagonist was the result was that using Dr. Doom's time machine, the Maestro was defeated by being thrown back in time to the gamma radiation bomb that originally created the Hulk. And it kind of continued from there. That wasn't the end of Maestro, but he was literally there at the beginning of the Hulk and was the eventual person the Hulk would become in that alternate future. He became kind of a reality hopper after that. So whether or not the Maestro's timeline was going to be an official one or not, he's crossed over enough and become part of the Marvel Universe. Cool character. I really do like him. But for now, let's take a moment. We'll pop him out of the pack, have a few things to say, and have some fun. Be right back. All right, now we've got Maestro out of the pack. I didn't want to waste any time. I really want to really give you an idea about, Toy Biz and the way they did their figures and just how awesome it was. Next to Maestro, we see Calabac, the Build-A-Figure Calabac from the DC Universe Wave 6 series. Wave 10 is a whole other thing, guys. But you can see, he was the Build-A-Figure. You had to buy 5 other figures to get the parts to put him together. And he was a big figure. He is a hefty dude. But Maestro is a single character in the entire Apocalypse line. So you can tell that Toy Biz really, when it came to making the figures, and there went his club. When it came to making the figures, they didn't pull any punches. It was, Maestro's big, he's going to be big. He's strong, let's make him big and strong. And regardless of size, or regardless of, just the limitations that you would expect from figures. Can't make them too big, got to keep costs low, can't use too much plastic. No, they just did it. That I appreciate. Toy Biz, thank you for doing it. Looking at Maestro as a character, though, it may be a bit of a surprise, but Maestro, my first experience with Maestro was not in the comic. As a matter of fact, it was actually from an earlier figure from Toy Biz in the Incredible Hulk line. And in the Incredible Hulk line, Maestro actually had a bolo, or a belt. It was a belt, I think, and it had like the helmet of Iron Man, the hammer of Thor, the shield of Captain America. It was the hero armor, it was called. And apparently it never made an appearance in Maestro's story. But he looked so cool with it, it was one of the things where it just seemed to fit. And as it turns out, from what I read, fans were really disappointed with this figure because he never actually, they didn't package him with it, they didn't give it to him. So though he is more accurate to the comic version, it's something where he's not as accurate as when I first saw him. As far as his sculpt goes, of course he is the Incredible Hulk. So you've got the large body, huge muscles. The brow's a little pronounced, but when we take a look at him with his crown on, you'll see it definitely reduces the how pronounced it is. One thing I noticed when I was unpacking him is he doesn't seem to have ears. You can make the argument they're being covered up by his hair, but he doesn't have ears, which is kind of funny if you think about it. As you see, his head has a full range of movement. So despite the fact that he has kind of the shoulder muscles coming up over his neck, it's not like the head just turns upside down like on a lot of figures. No, he actually can turn it side to side, which is something that Hulk figures always bothered me, that you couldn't actually turn it side to side. On his shoulder, now Toy Biz also definitely pioneered different articulation joints. He has kind of Iron Fist pop out joint thing here, which I'm not too sure what it does, but it's interesting seeing them trying something different, I suppose. His shoulder, it does rotate and has a hinge. Rotate at the bicep, single joint at the elbow because the bicep is so big. Twist on the hand, fingers are individually articulated, and the hinge. And the hinge. There we go. He has kind of a ball joint up here in the torso, which gives him a bit of a crunch, which just broke. This is fixable. It is fixable. As I mentioned in my last review, Figure Realm, and I'll post their customized site again on the side, because they have some really great tips on how to fix these kind of things. So he may not be done in time for the wrap up, but I will have him fixed and I will finish up his review. I didn't want to leave without touching on, of course, the other key things that we get with Maestro. That, of course, being his left arm for Apocalypse, and the tube or the hose that runs from the arm into the torso. So it's going to be something where we've got one more figure to go over, and then we'll have Apocalypse and be able to put him together. For now, I hope you enjoyed it. This has been the Review Revolution, saying rate, comment, subscribe, join the revolution, and I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot, everybody.